live streaming. I'm Nima Trafi, my teammates are Davey, Kanan, and Yusef. Now this project was purely computer science, and we're all double students, so we weren't really sure how to divide the programming tasks, so instead we did the programming all together and we divided the research. Me and Yusef researched mostly Android and Google Glass development, while Davey and Kanan researched a lot of streaming and cloud-based concepts and solutions. So let's get started. In high school, I was actually leaning more towards pursuing a career in medicine rather than engineering. But I wasn't sure, so to test the waters, I joined two programs. One was called Clinical Rotations, where I got to shadow various types of doctors. And the second was a summer camp for aspiring medical students. There are two experiences from these programs that I will always remember and that apply to this project. First one was I was able to watch a live stream of a knee replacement surgery, but the problem was that the camera was above the operating table, so you just got a bird's eye view, and every now and then hands would cover your view or heads would get in the way. You wouldn't be able to see what's going on. The second experience was when I was shadowing eye surgery, and before the surgery, they told me at least 5 times that I have to remember not to lock my knees. And I asked them why it's so important, and they said that a few students have actually passed out while observing, and one actually fell towards the doctor while he was doing the surgery, and it was very risky for the patient. It could have caused some serious damage. So, as a doctor or patient, would you want to risk having a student observe the operation? And as a student, would you want to only be limited to having a bird's eye view of a surgery rather than a first-person point of view? That's where our project comes into play. First semester, we worked on developing a prototype to just stream live content with the Google Glass. We got that working, and a lot of people say, why not just put a GoPro on your head and stream with that? The answer is, with the Google Glass application, you have a lot of room for future enhancements, future capabilities, and things like that. So second semester, we exemplified this by basically adding some new features. We gave the user capability to toggle on and off certain usage statistics about the streaming and the app and the device. These include like battery percentage that's left, the current time, time remaining, the number of clients connected to the live stream, things like that. And you could expand that even more by adding more things like CPU temperature. You could even integrate this with other apps. For example, the first Google Glass team had a data acquisition app. If you can integrate 2 of these, then a doctor could not only stream, but they could pull live data from different monitors and see it on their glass and also show it to the students who might be watching the live stream. So, to conclude, this is our user flow. We could explain more about this in our poster session. We could also possibly do a demo for you guys. I'd like to open up the floor for questions.
So did you guys use RTSP?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you interview any doctors in terms of how they might know about using this device in the operating?
So we did not, but there is actually one doctor who's already tried this with, I think it was Google Hangouts, and he liked the concept. He said it went well. It wasn't too distracting while he was doing surgery. I'm not sure if anyone was watching or the actual situation, but I know that that happened. And I've actually talked to some doctors in the past at that medical camp that I went to about this live streaming concept. A lot of them say that a camera above the operating table doesn't really give good teaching experience to students. So I feel like it could be very useful in that area.
I guess because we had like a similar issue on our Google Glass project. Like, how long did you stream before it would start to overheat?
So we actually did not test long enough for it to overheat to the point where the app stopped. When we did stop the app manually, it would say that